Hey everyone, it's the interview queen Alicia Atout here, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to interview round two with the beauty wrestler, Zoe Lucas. Hi!
Hey, thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm super excited about this. I feel like the most important question, since it's been so long, is how are you?
Uh, yeah, I'm good. Like, I can't complain really. Like, what's going on with the world and everything. I'm doing the best I can.
I have to kick this off with a very hard-hitting question. One that might stump you. I feel like people really would like to know. Are you still on Team Cupcake?
Always. I can't get rid of my cupcakes ever.
What would you say is like the weekly intake for Zoe Lucas when it comes to cupcakes?
Oh, I think it's gone up since lockdown.
Me too.
Probably on a good week, like 3 a week, but on a bad
Okay.
week, probably like 12.
You know what? Two a day, good ration. At least you have it all
Right?
leveled out.
One apple, two cupcakes.
Easy. What would you say has been kind of your latest favorite sweet snack to have, especially since this quarantine hit?
Um, oh, that's a tough one. I've had like, a lot of fudge. I tried to make some homemade fudge.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw like an Instagram video of how easy steps to make like at home fudge. And I made a lot of fudge at one point. But I feel like I made myself sick of it. I made so much.
What
I
kind
was
did you end
making
up?
like sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying, what kind did you end up making?
Oh, I was making like Biscoff fudge. I made like a white chocolate and Oreo one, and then just like classic like vanilla fudge.
That sounds so good. Well, one of the things I was mentioning to you prior to recording today is the fact that 2020 was insane. So, how would you say 2021 has been treating you so far? Has it been off to a good start? Are things kind of looking up over on your side of the world right now?
um, I feel like the UK as a whole isn't doing so well, but thankfully America is overtaking us on that, so no one really notices. For me personally, it's looking a little bit better. It's looking a lot more hopeful this year than last year.
Good. Something
Yeah.
something a lot of people have been taking as a silver lining throughout the pandemic is the fact that we've at least been given some downtime. It sucks not being able to travel as much, but at the same time, we've kind of been able to focus on a lot of good as well. So, other than cooking a lot of fudge or baking a lot of fudge, how has a lot of your downtime actually been spent? Like, kind of just take fans watching behind the scenes over there.
Oh, I've really enjoyed the time off in the sense that I've just let everything just go. Like I haven't been trying to be the best me, or I haven't been trying to like work out every day. I tried like at the beginning of lockdown to like work out every day and eat right and stuff, and then after a while it just went. It
Out the
just
window.
went. I have been a full-on sloth in lockdown. I've been binge watching reality TVs. I've been hooked on Real Housewives of every city in America. I've done a lot of knitting, and yeah, like visiting when like taking care of my nan. But other than that, like yeah, a sloth.
That sounds so relaxing though, because the opposite of that is you were so go, go, go. Like I remember seeing you over here. Well, I'm in Canada, but when we were both in the States, away from home, it was just crazy. We were nonstop. So the fact that this has kind of given us a bit of time to relax, like I mentioned,
Yeah.
it is one of those silver linings. This thing sucks, but there has to be some good to come from it.
Yeah, and I feel like I needed it because, like, in 2019, I think I worked out in like the whole year I was at home for probably like collectively 3 months, like spread out over the 12. Which, like, it sounds a lot, but it's not actually if you think about it. Because when I was in the UK, I wasn't really at home, so it's just nice to just I'm gonna have a year off and just not worry about anything.
Something that's come to light since the first time I had you on my show years ago is that you are officially the beauty wrestler. So when did you realize that this was your true calling and nickname to put out there into the world?
Um, well, I think I just clocked onto it because from from my first match in Stardom, they've been calling me the beauty wrestler since like 2017, and I didn't realize. I was kind of like, okay, the beauty wrestler, and then I feel like in 2019 I just embraced it, and I was just like, yeah, you know what, I am. It's kind of like almost like I'm taking the mick out of myself, because if you've ever like watched me wrestle or seen any photos of me during wrestling, my face
Yep.
is generally like some sort of like grotesque face that I pull. They're hilarious, but they're not beauty by any stretch of the imagination. So I feel like it's just kind of like a rib on myself.
I love the juxtaposition there because don't get me wrong, like I think you're absolutely stunning. But I remember every time we'd be at Rise or Shimmer, your whole thing in the ring was you were making these hilarious faces. You know, you had the promo photos where there was just cake shoved in your face. So you really don't take yourself extremely seriously, which not everyone can do. So that's something I've always really liked about you. So the fact that there is that juxtaposition in the name to what you see online and in the ring, I think is just so clever. Like I love it.
Oh, thank you. Like, yeah, I feel like I did take everything really seriously from the start. Like, from the moment I started in wrestling, I was like, no, I have to be serious. I have to do this. I have to do that. And then, like, I feel like the more I not didn't care, but kind of wasn't afraid to make fun of myself, it kind of, I enjoyed it more.
Right. And we all
So why
enjoyed your
not
history.
on it?
Totally. And even all like the hissy fits in the ring and all that, like those were top quality.
Thank you. They take
You're
it out of
welcome.
you. I'm like blowing, like I can't breathe half the time because I've just had too much of a hissy fit, and I'm just like, oh god, why did I do that?
Well, what would you say is one of your biggest beauty faux pas or pet peeves?
Oh, I feel like obviously each to their own, but I feel like my biggest like beauty faux pas, I feel like, is when people wear too much makeup. Like I'm a big believer in natural beauty, and I feel like if people like cake it on, I don't know, I don't personally like it. I feel like it's really fake, and I just don't see the point. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of people put a lot of makeup on and look stunning, but I just personally I don't like it.
No, I'm on the same page with you. I never started wearing makeup until doing my interviews. Like every day at school, I was barefaced. Like it was just never my thing. Then, of course, when you get to shows and TV, like you have to put a bit on because you don't want to be like an oily mess. But I've been the same way. Like I never loved wearing a ton of it, just enough where you're like, yeah, she's wearing it to cover up some spots, but like she's not, you can't scrape it off her face.
Right? And I feel like because when I grew up, I did like a lot of dance and like musical theatre. I always had it like caked on my face. So whenever I wasn't dancing, I just had nothing, and I like that freedom.
Speaking to beauty, people can purchase some really cool 8x10s of yourself in your store. And I was looking through your merch store, and all of your photographs are named after Winnie the Pooh characters. So why? Let me in on this. 'Cause I've never seen that before.
I don't know. I think I just cracked in lockdown. um,
Oh my
I think
gosh.
I had a photo shoot with James Musselwhite, and I just wasn't feeling myself because I was like I said, I let myself go, and I was a bit of a sloth, and I was just like, oh, I look horrendous. I kind of look like Winnie the Pooh. But I love Winnie the Pooh, so it's fine. And then I was just like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I just named them 8x10s after characters of Winnie the Pooh?
I
And then there are a few. I think there's like some photos that are like have names after or lyrics of 1975 songs as well. So it's not all Winnie the Pooh.
It's so different though, because even in my store, like the 8x10s are named after whatever's kind of happening in the picture and so on and so forth.
Right?
But so I came across it, I'm like, ooh, that's clever. Like I dig that. So different.
Yeah, I just kind of got bored of like me 8x10 in pink gear, 8x10 in slightly different pink gear.
Something else I know you picked up while all this stuff was going on is the fact that you apparently now like American football. So did you finally figure out which team to support, or are you kind of still just watching from all different avenues?
I'm still kind of watching from all different avenues, but I watched a match with is it the Cleveland Browns, and I just loved that because I obviously watched Family Guy when I was younger, and I was just like, that's not real. That can't be real. And they were actually like a really fun team to watch, so I kind of was leaning towards them. And then my partner likes he follows baseball and likes Atlanta Braves baseball team. So he was like, no, you have to support Atlanta. You have to support Atlanta. And I was like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm still kind of open, but I'm leaning towards Cleveland Browns purely for the name.
I genuinely feel like such an idiot because I'm not super into football. I'm not gonna lie. It's never really been my thing, but I've been a huge fan of Family Guy my whole life, and of course Cleveland Brown. And I never put two and two together. Like obviously, it hits you in your head, but I've never realized that was literally the team name. And I feel like a giant.
I didn't know either. I was like, what? I've never watched football before, and that was like my first American football game that I watched, and I was just like, hang on a minute,
Yeah,
what? That can't be real. Are you making this up?
I never put two and two together, so you just opened my eyes to something, and I feel like a giant dummy, but now I know.
Right.
Well, one of the last things I want to ask you about, obviously one of the greatest parts of wrestling are the friends that you make along the way and just getting on with different people. So if you could spend the day with any other wrestler just to hang out, do whatever you wanted, who would that be?
Oh. I'm so torn.
You can name a few if you'd like. I won't pigeonhole you.
Okay. I feel like the fan in me would still like to hang out with like Mickie James for the day because she was like my idol when I was younger, and I just like I want to hang out with her. But then like I kind of just want to hang out with like people I don't normally see that often. Like I miss like all the Australian girls that I'd see at Shimmer and stuff. So I kind of want to choose someone like that, but I don't know. I feel like I'd just choose Jessica Troy from Australia if I was choosing like just like a wrestler.
You want to know something funny? When I first went into Shimmer and Rise, I was familiar with a lot of the girls, and then I wasn't familiar with a lot because there's talent coming from all over the world. And I remember being in the locker room the first weekend, and you were always with those Australian girls. So before getting to know you and talk to you, I thought you were Australian. Like I thought you were from that place. And then I spoke with you for the first time and heard your voice and did research for the interview, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the funniest thing ever.
So many people think I'm Australian because I just hang out with them. It was kind of like little like it was the Australian group, and then I kind of just like segued my way in because I was like, I'm also not American, so
technically I could have joined too.
Right, you could have. You could be an honorary Australian like me.
Right. Well, I really want to say thank you so much for hopping on, for catching up. I'm so glad that we got to do this. You were honestly at the beginning one of my favorites to speak with, especially when it came to music. So I'm really glad that we got to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for having me.
Of course. To everyone watching, this has been the lovely Zoe Lucas. Be sure to check out AliciaToot.com, not only for our first interview, but tons of other exclusive interviews and features. Bye, everybody.
Bye.